maybe your featured listing in that neighborhood. If you don't have one, perhaps you borrow one from another person in the office that has a listing, and you call them up and say, hey, can I market your home for you and put this on a brochure? It'd be awesome if I can sell it. That works. The piece has to be mailed every 4 to 6 weeks. It's got to be consistent. The panelists kept saying consistency. Absolutely. So it sends out every 4 to 6 weeks, and it works. How do I know it works? We've spent 28,000 US. We've made 150,000 commission just on that piece. We mail it to 982 people in 2 subdivisions. That's it. That's not a lot of money for us, but it works. If you have the budget to do it, I'd recommend it. I know it works. The next thing, my listing presentation. Okay. You're going to have a copy in the next slide. Everybody wants to can I have that? You're going to have it. I have the website, so you can go to it. I highly recommend you steal it, copy it, and use it. But here's what you want to do on the listing presentation book. Mine's an actual book. I deliver it the night before I'm going to compete against 4 other agents for the listing. It's pretty impressive. I have it in a box, and it doesn't matter if I'm working with a $100,000 listing or a $6 million US listing. It doesn't matter. But they get this listing book, and I tell them, I'm going to see you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. I want you to review my listing book, and if we have any questions, we'll talk about it tomorrow. So my listing presentation is very simple. We're going to sell the brand of RE/MAX, global.remax.com. We are the largest real estate company in the world. We translate 77 languages. That's pretty impressive. We have 86,000 agents and growing and growing and growing. That's impressive. Then you're going to tell them about who you are. I don't care if this is your first day in real estate or your 15th, 20th year in real estate. Doesn't matter. You tell them who you are. Then you're going to talk about your market statistics, specifically for that neighborhood or overall. Bank of Israel gave some good stats today. You can steal from some of that data to incorporate into your listing book. And then finally, you want to give proof to your client on what you've done. Hey, this is what we've actually sold. Once again, if you're one day in the business, you have no sales. RE/MAX of Israel does have sales. You learn to borrow. That's the one thing I know in this profession. We share a lot of information, and you've got to share. So that becomes your listing book. That marketing material works. Right now, when I go on a listing presentation, I'm competing against 4 or 5 other agents for every listing. I just don't go in and get it. Love competition, but that book works. All right. Buyer book. This is the other arsenal. Every member of my team, and we'll get into the team later, I call them real estate specialists. They're not buyer's agents. They're real estate specialists. And they have these buyer's books. Now the buyer's books are specific to the buyer. A lot of your buyers don't know your worth. They're like, why should I have you represent me, right? They have to pay you 2%, right?
Plus one.
In America, our buyers don't pay us. So you need this book. You need to show your value. Do you know the names? Do you know great names for architects, contractors, repair people, plumbers? That should be in your buyer's book. The great schools, maybe the districts, anything you can give them that's something that they need, you're going to put in this book. Our book is 36 pages long. I call it the reason why they have a buyer's agent. Okay? The best thing you could do is have this buyer's book. And here's some of the topics that I've been talking about and what would want to be in that buyer's book. And once again, here's what it looks like up close and personal. You can see all the telephone numbers. We put a map in there. So I want you to think about it. I know that these pieces work. Next thing. Let's talk about marketing the listing. You get the listing presentation. You've wowed them with the listing book. Now we go to the marketing pieces. Now I've studied a lot of your brochures on the chairs and they're excellent. Now I'm going to challenge you to a different level. There's another great site for you. It's called elance.com. What you do is maybe you don't want an assistant, but you want somebody to come up with some of these cool marketing pieces that I'm going to show you. What you want them to do, you want to post what you're looking for. You want four color high gloss materials. You want them high gloss because you want it to be differentiated from the competition. You want them to pick it up. You want to have great photos. So a great photographer, once again, you could get it on Elance. I'm sure there are plenty of Israelis right now wanting your business, and they're not in real estate, but they're great photographers. You got to have a great photographer, and you got to have a great brochure. It's very impressive to go on a listing presentation to give them a brochure of their home before you even market their home with a picture of their home on that flyer ready to go. Now, the next piece next to it is a jumbo postcard. And I brought an example of that because this is what I see. I see these postcards all the time in my mail. Is that impressive? Is this impressive? It's getting bigger. Or is this impressive? Right? This is the maximum size that can actually fit in a mailbox in the US. I'm blowing it out. When I go for a competition, my competitors look at this and they go, Jesus, I haven't seen something like that. Right? That's the challenge for each one of you. All right. Next one. All right. Marketing the listing. Going backwards. We've lost some slides. Okay. We have a social media campaign usually. We have a YouTube video, but let's go to photography. All right. This is actually considering, and I think we've lost a couple of the photos. That's all right. We're going to deal with this. All right. I want you to look at this photo for a second. Doesn't it look like you're sitting by the pool of this house? This is what I call the money shot. When you go into a property, I want you to take a picture of a home from a money shot point of view, where you're sitting down at the place. You could be even, if they have an outstanding bathtub, for example, you would actually shoot it like you're sitting in the tub, looking out. Maybe there's a great view, so you'd have the photographer sit on a couch looking out to the view. That's great photography. Writing styles. The verb to be has to be eradicated. You want a verb of action. I gave fair writing and I gave a better writing review here. An example of a verb to action. This 2-bedroom condo exudes elegance as seen by the following: travertine, Cantera stone, stainless steel appliances, blah, 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 blah. Here's what I normally see when I read things. This house is great. It offers 2,400 square feet, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,010 square feet. Does that get you excited? That's what you want your writing to be like. If you're not good at writing, you hire the assistant that can do that, or you start picking up magazines, and that's how I learned how to do it. I'd go to Unique Homes, Architectural Digest. With Yad 2, it'd be fun to kind of look at what the sellers are actually doing by owner and how they're writing their ads. And wouldn't it be kind of a fun thing to do is to knock on their door and say, hey, I've got a better piece of copy for your house, would you like to see it? That would be fabulous. All right, now the team. This is the team.